The Hadzabe Tribe, an ancient indigenous community, faces a grave threat that jeopardizes their way of life. Their unique traditions, language, and ancestral lands are at risk, putting the very existence of this remarkable tribe in danger. So let's find out why and how they live their lives surrounded by danger. And don't forget to subscribe for more such videos. Here we begin. The Hadzabe Tribe, known for their unique way of life as hunter-gatherers, faces a severe threat that puts their entire existence in danger. Traditionally, the Hadzabe practice a sustainable lifestyle by periodically moving their camps, avoiding overhunting or depleting resources in one area. This nomadic practice ensures the land is shared among different groups, as no one claims it as their own. However, the situation has become increasingly challenging for Hadzabe due to several factors. Firstly, there are stretches of land traditionally utilized by the Hadzabe that remain uninhabited until a group resettles there. This has led outsiders to mistakenly assume that the land is available, leading to conflicts and encroachment. Tanzania's agricultural boom and discriminatory attitudes towards hunter-gatherer communities have worsened the situation. In addition, loose definitions regarding land rights have allowed outside groups to exploit Hadzabe resources and undermine their way of life. In particular, pastoralists such as the Datoga and Maasai have threatened traditional Hadzabe land significantly. While it is important to acknowledge that the Datoga, who have inhabited the region for thousands of years, also face similar challenges, recent years have seen an imbalance in land disputes favoring the Datoga. In addition, the growing herds of Datoga cattle and government bias towards agro-pastoralists have tilted the scales against the Hadzabe, pushing them further into a vulnerable position. Several threats to the Hadza people. The Hadzabe tribe faces multiple threats that endanger their way of life and survival. One major issue is the competition for food resources. The Hadzabe heavily rely on a large game that grazes the grasslands and drinks from watering holes in the area. However, pastoralists who allow their animals to overgraze the grasslands drive away the large game, making it harder for the Hadzabe to find food. Moreover, these pastoralists also use the same watering holes, further limiting the Hadzabe's access to water and food sources. Members of other groups. Other groups that pose a significant danger to the Hadzabe include mining companies, tourists, and commercial hunting groups. The over-irrigation of fields and the pollution of drinking water by mines and agrochemicals worsen the already scarce water situation in the region, making it more difficult for Hadzabe to find clean water. In addition, land clearing activities, driven by various interests, destroy the natural habitats of both large and small game, forcing them to flee the area. Commercial hunting, especially in protected areas like the Serengeti National Park, Ngorongoro National Park, and the Massawa Game Reserve, directly affects the Hadzabe. These hunting activities take away the large game the Hadzabe rely on for sustenance. Furthermore, the Hadzabe have become subjects of scientific interest, leading to invasive studies that collect samples like urine and fecal matter without their consent or input. How is the Tanzanian government lending a helping hand? Within Tanzania, hunter-gatherer groups like the Hadzabe and pastoralists are often seen as unproductive members of society, reinforced by pro-agriculture attitudes within the government. The Tanzanian government implemented a villagization program in the 1970s to promote agriculture and address land rights issues. Even though the program ended in the 1980s, its impact on Hadzabe's societal position remains. The Hadzabe have been excluded from political discussions and marginalized in Tanzanian society. This discrimination stems from their lack of formal leadership and the government's bias against hunter-gatherer communities. Some scholars, like John R. Campbell, even describe the villagization program as a form of domestic genocide. The government's justification for villagization included resolving land disputes and safeguarding the Hadzabe's culture. However, discrimination and pro-agriculture attitudes were the primary drivers behind the resettlement program. Nevertheless, in a positive development in 2011, with the assistance of the Nature Conservancy, the Hadzabe managed to secure a certificate of customary right of occupancy for 57,000 acres, recognized by the Tanzanian government. As one of the few remaining hunter-gatherer groups in the world, The Hadzabe are often studied by scientists seeking insights into our ancestral past. However, it is crucial to recognize that the Hadzabe are not merely historical artifacts, but modern human beings living in the present. Their traditional lifestyle could have continued sustainably for many more years without the environmental destruction caused by external forces. Using their history as a justification for action perpetuates the harmful idea of hunter-gatherer inferiority, a significant problem in the country. Instead, we should view and protect Hadzabe's way of life as valid, sustainable, and admirable. Taking action to reverse the damage inflicted upon the Hadzabe should be seen as a defense of their human rights, rather than solely as the preservation of historical curiosity or an endangered species. So, what do you think of this tribe being in danger? Comment below your views and subscribe for more such videos.